Hey everyone, this is What You're Tokuing About, a podcast that's very popular with the girls, and I'd say the first ever podcast to endorse saying sorry. It's okay to say sorry sometimes. It would be really good. It might save your country from being stomped to death. With me as always are my co-hosts, Stix and Hunter. Thank you for being here. And I'm so sorry, by the way.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm so sorry.
It's
I apologize. Right. Please don't destroy me. Don't swap me in a hospital bed. Please. Please.
It's fine. It's fine. A mysterious old man gave me a funny looking rock. And he told me everything will be okay.
Mm-hmm. I will say I love when you compare a movie down to like a moral for 5-year-olds. You should say sorry sometimes.
Or more okay. Like you shouldn't forget that you did something bad.
I guess you're right. At the very minimum, please remember you did bad stuff. You don't even have to apologize sometimes. Just say it. Just try to remember. Anyway, thank you, everybody. This is one of our movie episodes. Usually we're covering series. We're going to announce our next one at the end of this one. But we just finished Shigeki Rangers. It was a lot of fun. I recommend going back, maybe even watching the show and listening as we went along. But you know, it's a lot of fun. It's good. Actually, the last episode did pretty good. It did good on Blue Sky and it did good on YouTube, which I'm kind of impressed by, being the last episode in a series that our last episode covering a series that's not available in America publicly. So hey, shouts out, thanks everybody.
We're getting sharing. We're getting the people we want to get. We're getting the audience.
The sickos.
Yeah. Also, we should note that it may not be available in America, but we have it.
I don't know about you guys, but we have it.
We have it legally.
Yeah.
Haim Saban unlocked his vault for us and gave us the unproduced masters.
You opened the oldest vault and revealed the Violet Ranger. No, yeah, but if you want to help us out more, always leave a review on iTunes or on Spotify.
Yes.
And if you're on YouTube, which I think is where most of our listeners are at, be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment, and I read all the comments. I don't always respond as much as I should, but I always read them and I always appreciate them. So thank you so much to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we are doing the big guy, the number one, the king of all monsters. That's right. We're doing our first ever Godzilla movie, and this has been long in the making. I think ever since our first movie we did, it was kind of like, well, so when are we going to do Godzilla? When are we going to do it?
Yeah, he's kind of like the big daddy of them all when you think about it.
Yeah.
I've described him as the nexus point of Tokusatsu. I felt like it was only fair that we finally cover him, but we did have to pick the right movie, because that's the hard part. There's like 8 million of these damn things.
Yeah.
And I used a very scientific process when I chose this one, which was, you guys got to choose the last few, and I want to watch the one that I want to watch. So scientifically, I chose what is it? This title. It's an amazing title for a movie. I mean, I love it, but also I'll never remember it.
It is
Godzilla.
It is the most literal translation that we have ever gotten for a Godzilla movie title.
Yes.
Ever.
It is Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, giant monsters all out attack. It sounds like Mothra had to like negotiate with the producers to be like, I get second billing. Okay, Godzilla's number one. King Ghidorah, he might be the main dude, but Mothra, listen, I deserve it. I get less screen time, but I deserve that second billing.
Yeah, they don't tell you there's a fourth monster in this movie.
Baragon's agent, whoever Baragon's agent is out there, dude, you need to work harder. Baragon, you need to find new representation. You didn't even get billing in this one.
Poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy. So I chose this movie. I guess we'll go through all our Godzilla feelings, our Godzilla history and all that. But I chose it because I remember listening to a podcast about it many, many years ago and being very intrigued by the prospects behind it because of the whole spirituality, Japan mysticism stuff. I've also watched 1.5 of the Gamera movies by the same director, Shusuke.
Kaneko.
Oh, I should have. Kaneko?
Kaneko.
Shusuke Kaneko?
Yeah, Kaneko.
Yeah. I've watched one of his Gamera movies. I liked it. I didn't love it, but now watching this, it makes me want to go back and watch that second, third one. I watched half of the second one. I say that, but I fell asleep during it. Not its fault. I started at like 11 p.m. and I just wanted something to have on. Well, yeah. I want to say that I'll watch again. That Gamera movie felt like his attempt at making a Showa movie using modern technology and techniques. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, this is so great. It's handcrafted. It's so beautiful. A little stock. Not much. It felt like a very deliberate throwback, but like to the point where I was like, okay, boring scientist guy doing expository dialogue at the camera. I'm good on that. I've watched lots of Showa Godzilla, but it's still, I've always been interested in this guy's movies, and I think he delivered something really interesting here. And I mean, I'm not a mega Godzilla fan. I've loved it as a kid. I can't say I'm a religious watcher who's seen everything. I watched a lot of Showa Godzilla when it would air on Sci-Fi Channel as a kid. I loved Godzilla versus Gigan, Godzilla versus Megalon. Probably my favorite Showa era is probably, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. I love King Ghidorah as a kid. Godzilla was always my number one, obviously, but King Ghidorah and his rivalry is like, that is so cool that monsters could like hate each other.
Yeah, right?
Like have venomous hate for each other. Like pro wrestling style heat with each other. I always love that so much. It's awesome. So I was always a big fan of Showa era Godzilla. I rented about 4 or 5 of the Heisei Godzilla movies when I was a teenager, and my parents had the the Netflix DVD rental service. I had all of those DVDs sent to me. I love Biollante, and part of me, it was almost a little bit glad, but also upset that Criterion put out that Biollante Blu-ray, because I'm like, oh, they should put out one. If they put out one of the ones I hadn't watched before and didn't love already, I would have bought that and watched it. But this is going to be like my third time watching this movie. But I love that Biollante movie. I love like the cyber techno terrorism vibe of it. And I love Desitroya, because that one is like trying to wreak pathos out of the untimely passing of a certain beloved character in the Godzilla franchise. It's Godzilla. Sorry, spoiler alert. And then I watched the Mothra movie because it has Mothra in the title, and as a kid, you just think Mothra is cool. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you anything that happens in it. And I think that movie. I watched one of the other Heisei Godzillas, the first or the second, I can't remember. And I liked it too, but I couldn't tell you anything that happened in it. But and of course, I've seen all of the more modern Godzilla stuff. I think I saw Shin Godzilla and Godzilla Minus One in the theaters. I like both. I think I lean Shin Godzilla, but I do like Minus One. I know I have a lot of friends who have fallen out of favor with that movie, and for understandable reasons. Right. But I still liked it. We'll definitely discuss it in relation to this movie. But yeah, so I don't know. I love Godzilla. He's always. I can't say I've ever watched a Godzilla movie and been like, oh, that would have load of crap. I'll never. I know, Hunter, you have a movie. There's a Godzilla movie that like draws ire out of you.
Oh, buddy.
And I have not watched it. Yeah. But I can't say like I ever regret watching anything Godzilla related. The market level of quality, there are obviously bad stuff. And there's obviously like corny bad movies. Like, as I said, I loved Godzilla versus Gigan as a kid, even though there are parts of it that are straight up boring and unintelligible, but like in my head, like it brings me joy to think of Jet Jagar and his magical song. The market quality of the franchise on the Japanese side, the American stuff I have weird feelings about, but I think we'll focus more on, but maybe we won't, because this movie actually does go into some of the American stuff.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, but the franchise has always to me just been just like, what's so fun about a lot of the like Japanese reinvention and how they kind of manicure and keep their franchises interesting and fresh in a way that like sometimes I wish American, companies would be willing to do and have faith in their audience on. But yeah, that's just how I feel about Godzilla.
Yeah.
Either you want to talk about your own feelings on Godzilla?
Save me for last. Save me for last.
That's fair. All right, so this is Stix. Godzilla, what a guy. I got into him through a funny little man named James Rolfe, and his he always had that every year in the late 2000s. He had this Monster Madness Cinemassacre, and he did a Godzilla-thon. And oh my god, I watched those videos religiously as a kid. I watched all of them. That was my basis for Godzilla. That's how I got interested in Godzilla. I'm sure a lot of people my age, that was their thing. That's how they got into Godzilla.
Right.
People who, were on the internet a lot. And for actual Godzilla movies I've watched, and this is like one of my big embarrassing blind spots, because a lot of it is secondhand for me. I've seen the original Japanese Godzilla from 1954. I tried to watch Raids again, and I was starting to snooze a little. I saw King Kong versus Godzilla, the one for the 1960s. That was fun. And I've seen, I think it's I think I saw the versus King Ghidorah, the Heisei one from the 90s. And God help me here. And I've seen bits and pieces of Final Wars, which I just know would be my shit if I actually did watch it.
Oh, I love Final Wars. I forgot to bring that up. Yeah. I think Final Wars is the closest you can get to Super Smash Bros. Adaptation in terms of just shit being thrown at the screen and it doesn't make any sense and you're just happy for it.
It's a blind spot for me, and which is nice in the sense that, like, okay, Tubi and all these streaming services now have all the Showa Godzilla movies, so one day I'll be able to finish going through them. But then I got into a snag and I'm like, oh, but Toho did other kaiju movies around the same time, and other tokusatsu sci-fi related movies around the same time. I'm like, okay, should I just watch every single one and do like production order? And I was like, fuck. And I got caught up and I stopped watching. So I should probably just suck it up, just watch just Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
Even though I'm sure, like, you want to watch everything by Eiji Tsuburaya, the guy who, after he quit Toho, he started doing Ultra Q and Ultraman. And it's like, oh boy. But yeah, Godzilla. And of course, cannot forget to mention I've watched the American Godzilla 2014. I've seen Shin Godzilla, which is probably still my favorite Godzilla movie. And I've seen Godzilla Minus One.
Stepped you up. Thank you, bro.
And I've seen Godzilla Minus One. Both Shin Godzilla Minus One, both in theaters. Both great experiences in the theaters. So yeah, I'd say I'm a fan of the fella. He's cool. He's got a wide history that kind of it kind of tells a story of like just movies and like blockbusters in general over the decades, in a sense, internationally and domestically. So
he's just a fun character to follow, like how trends can change, how an interpretation of a character just like transforms over time.
Yeah, and like just continuity and like just how movies are made or how are they marketed. Like just looking at the posters helps. Or like say, how movies used to be distributed like around the world. God. He's a symbol for a reason. People love him. He's been interpreted a billion different ways, which makes me watching this movie where it's supposed to be a little different. It makes me like, okay, but how much of it is different? How much of it has been in previous movies? Because you don't want to be caught in that trap where I'm like, oh, this is totally deconstructing or subverting. But no, this was been a thing in the other older Godzilla movies, So I'm going to try to hold off from that. Because I haven't watched all of them. I can't be that annoying misinformation guy you'd see making a video essay on YouTube about anime. So there you go. All right, Hunter, you have the floor.
When I was a little kid, I definitely grew up around Godzilla. I definitely knew what he was. I've definitely seen a lot, and I mean a lot, maybe almost all of the Showa films, but they kind of blur together in my mind a little bit. I'm definitely long overdue for like a rewatch, but a bunch of ones that I definitely remember liking the most was Godzilla vs. Gigan and Godzilla vs. Megalon.
Yeah, same.
Megalon has the funniest North American poster I have ever seen in my life. It's the one with Godzilla and Megalon standing on top of each twin tower.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, no, I have it is etched in my brain. That is an image. To me, that is just an iconic poster as like Star Wars or
like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like, that's exactly. A great ass poster.
And indoctrinating me in an early age. That's also the movie that has Jet Jaguar in it.
Jet Jaguar?
My favorite guy.
He's so good.
I bought a figure of him while I was in Japan. Actually, I went to the Godzilla store.
Is it the monster arts that cost like $95?
God, no. It was one of those like soft, like cheaper, like vinyl figures.
I am going to be like frank with everybody here. I do not want to admit how many times my finger hovered over that fucking button on the Big Bad Toy Store to buy the $115 Jet Jaguar figure.
I wish I could have a monster arts, but they're too much. They're way too much money.
They're too much money and fucking huge. Like, if you had a burglar break into your house, you would grab your Destroya and swing it at him. Is all I'm saying.
I have one cheaper monster art, and it's for like the Predator from Alien vs. Predator. That's it.
Okay.
And that's just because that's basically just a figure art, just with slightly more detail. And then of course I saw Godzilla 98. Matthew Broderick, the worst leading man in movies.
We love Matthew Broderick, and listen, did he, did
he kill that guy?
Had he killed that guy yet?
I genuinely love that movie a lot. I think it's really funny. I think it's entertaining to watch. It is not Godzilla. It is not a Godzilla movie.
You and my friend Alex Muldoon X9, that's his Twitter handle. I just call him that on the podcast. He also has hardcore childhood nostalgia for that movie. I watched as a child and I thought it was boring as fuck. But
I've always thought it was funny.
It is kind of like generic cola Jurassic Park more than a Godzilla movie. But no, it has moments.
Yeah, it has like half of the Simpsons voice cast in it.
Awesome.
Yeah. I even watched the Fox Kids cartoon when I was a kid. And I've seen that 70s Godzilla Hanna-Barbera cartoon with Godzuki.
Yes, I have too seen it. Is it Godzuki or is it somebody else?
That's the name of his son is Godzuki. And then as I started to get older, like in my teenage years, I like Stix. I saw Monster Madness. And that like reignited my love for Godzilla. That AVGN Godzilla episode specifically is one of my favorites that he's ever made.
Yeah.
I rewatched that like a lot. And then like with more cognizant memory, I started going through more of the Heisei and Millennium era movies. I've seen most of them. I definitely have a few blind spots. I've never seen I always get caught up. Destroya, even though that's not how his name is spelled in English.
Yeah, no.
Destoroya.
If you watch the movie, though, Destroya is implanted in your brain because they say it 1,000 times, and you like to you, it's like no. If you haven't watched the movie, you're like, oh, that's Destroya. If you're like me and a child playing Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee on the GameCube, that's Destroya. But then you watch the movie, and you're like, that's Destroya. Also, by the way, huge influence on Godzilla. My love of Godzilla was the GameCube game. Which
Destroy All Monsters is so cool. I always love that announcer, Godzilla 54.
Yes.
But then I still have some blind spots. I haven't seen Biollante, but I do have the Criterion Blu-ray. Got it on sale. Actually, in terms of Godzilla films I have almost a complete collection of the Japanese produced Godzilla films. I'm missing one. And it is Godzilla 1984. Because for some reason that one's rare and out of print. All the other ones are easy to find to get. I don't know why. But then after that, I saw Shin Godzilla when it premiered in theaters the first time. That was one of that memory is like one of my favorite cinematic experiences I think ever. I had a great and respectful crowd, which is not something you normally get with Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
And then I saw the Legendary films, and I remembered what it was like to feel hate in my heart. I am not a fan. I'm a big hater. I know those movies have their defenders. I think 2014 has a lot of good ideas, but they are executed poorly. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of King of the Monsters either, even though I think that one's better. Good handling of King Ghidorah and Mothra. I do like how Mothra is handled in those movies. Mm-hmm. I hate Godzilla versus Kong with like a deep passion in my soul. And I haven't seen Godzilla X Kong, the one where he turns Super Saiyan Rosé.
I still have never seen. I saw King Kong. What is it? Kong versus Godzilla. I can never remember these fucking
Godzilla versus
Kong.
Yeah. They sound like theme park rides, like Godzilla versus Kong, the experience or whatever.
Yeah,
but anyway,
they do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it's because Toho and Warner Brother they have to legalese their way through the title. Yeah. Man, I watched that first one, and to me, I didn't hate it, but it definitely felt like a graphics card benchmarked the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, a lot of nothing, but I didn't hate the nothing.
And then. Now, I hate those movies. I give them a lot of shit. The worst Godzilla films I have ever seen in my life are the 3D anime films that you can watch on Netflix.
Are they Polygon Pictures?
Yes.
What are they called again?
Yes, they are.
They made the bad Ghost in the Shell show that I never watched, and
some other things.
I think the real bad shit.
Well, the unfortunate thing is that the problem is not with the animation. It's certainly not with the designs. I actually think a lot of that trilogy of movies has a lot of really smart ideas in terms of like a cosmic horror Godzilla, especially King Ghidorah. Having him not be a physical being, but having the heads like pop out of portals, I think is like a really cool idea. The problem is that they're written by Gen Urobuchi, and that black-pilled doomer fuck cannot write a monster movie to save his life. That is my opinion. Everything I've ever seen from Gen Urobuchi has gotten under my skin.
Wow.
I'm one of the guys that doesn't like Gaim. I will say that on record on this podcast. I am not a big fan of Kamen Rider Gaim. That shit does not belong on HBO. Stop saying it.
I do think it's funny because I'm being like Gen Urobuchi stuff. I'm like, I liked it, but I watched it all about 10 years ago. AKA, I liked Fate Zero, and I liked the first Madoka series, but I couldn't tell you anything after that.
I know Madoka's good, but it's like he made 3 bad Godzilla movies, so now he's on my like enemy list forever. So now I'm not gonna watch it.
I feel you.
I get you.
if some like auteur of some sort wrote something dog shit for one of my favorite things ever, I'd also have a grudge against him.
It bugs me so much.
It's just funny. It's just funny to think about me. I'm like, I liked it 10 years ago, but I mean, me from 10 years ago was kind of an asshole, so he could be bad. So, who's to say?
But after that, of course, comes Godzilla -1. I'm about the same with it that I am with Russ, where I definitely really like the movie. Mm-hmm. It's funny because I ranked Shin 4.5 on Letterboxd, because Letterboxd reviews absolutely matter. Their word of
totally.
And I rated -1 5 stars. I would definitely, on a rewatch, Shin's going to 5, and Shin is the better movie. Personally, really? I believe that.
We're those fucks. We all agreed.
Yeah,
but
interesting.
But I definitely really like -1. However, I absolutely understand the dissenting opinions it gets. Especially the further you look into them.
Mm-hmm. But and there is that feeling of the reaction of it being like, finally they've made a good Godzilla movie.
Oh yeah,
they've made a good Godzilla movie.
It's visually it's visually so pretty,
right?
too.
Like, it's
It
understandable,
looks
but at the
amazing.
same time, come on, guys.
Yeah,
And I get it. There's a cleverness to it, and a him, having somebody on the Japanese side sit down and be like, okay, we're gonna make a Hollywood style screenplay that, you know what I mean, that like sits down and has a structure,
A
and
Spielbergian
a series of
esque movie, yeah.
Yeah, and and there's stuff I really liked about this movie specifically.
yeah.
That is very like almost un-Hollywood and very like, and kind of un-Toho. I mean, it's kind of to this guy himself, like little scenes and moments in the movie that are like, you don't see that a lot in monster movies or Hollywood movies, kind of cutting away to like little vignettes, and focusing on just like average day-to-day people and like how the monster affects them. And I think Godzilla -1, eschews all that by being very much like one guy, he's an everyman, and he very much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He very much is the lens through everything that you see. So it's like, I get why people like that movie so much, but also, it doesn't have kind of the weirdness that I kind of like in this movie.
It also it has some very bad undertones a a little bit. In
this
terms
movie
of
also has
the
bad
glory,
undertones
the glory of
and
the
good-
army.
I know. If you try to rank Godzilla movies by the coherence of like their politics, then like you're never gonna get anything consistent out of this franchise.
Never,
Like,
it's
never. No.
That's so I can't ever hold that against Godzilla -1, because if you held that against any Godzilla movie, then you will be tied into knots. Is all I'll say.
Right.
But going back to it, I will say I did see Shin Godzilla again when it got re-released in theaters with the brand new beautiful G-Kids version with a whole new like English translated script, new restoration, everything. That was one of the worst movie experiences I've ever had in my life.
I'm so sorry.
Because and it's not the movie itself.
Right, of course,
sorry
it's never
if I'm
the movie.
Sorry if I'm getting off topic a little bit here.
No, you're valid. You're valid.
It's just with Godzilla, because of those legendary movies and because of the kind of misconception I want to say like Godzilla actually gets and what kind of movies he's actually in, it garners the worst theater crowds imaginable. So I had like this group of teenagers who were definitely expecting more of a legendary film, and one of them was audibly making like snore noises the whole time. Like during the movie. And I wanted to, I'm not this guy. I'm not one of those people who like stands up at a movie theaters and I'm like, you need to respect the movie. You need to give it your time. But I did want to go up to that kid and tell him to shut the hell up. Movie theaters need ushers.
Yes. 100%.
Anyways, I love Godzilla a lot. Like a lot. And so I was definitely very excited that we finally got to do Godzilla on this podcast, especially with a movie that I have not seen. However, now that I've seen it, I have realized I have seen GMK before. They are called Shin Godzilla and -1.
Ayo.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is not a bad thing, but I think that speaks to more.
It's
I want to say how important GMK is as a film in this franchise. That it's able to like inspire like that much with its creatives. It's golly, I love this big stupid lizard so much.
Yeah, yes. Well,
God.
I mean, what? He was an outsider, right? Shusuke? I got it. I should just have his
Shusuke
name on it.
Kaneko, yeah. You want me to get into staff talk?
Yeah, we could go into staff talk.
All right. So this movie is directed by Shusuke Kaneko. His prior experience, his filmography, is that he directed the Gamera Heisei trilogy in the 90s, from 1995 to 1999. And of course, they brought him in just for this movie, and that's it. And of course he had co-writers as well. They had Keiichi Hasegawa, who is a big name if you're an Ultraman fan. He wrote a lot of the
Yes, he
Heisei Ultraman series, like Dyna, and he was like episode writers on like Taiga, Dyna, Gaia, Cosmos. He was the main writer for Nexus. He was an episode writer on fucking Mebius. He wrote Ginga, and then he stopped writing Ultraman, and now it's just kind of like a, hey, I'm Toei. I need you to grab you to write a few episodes for a random Kamen Rider show when we need somebody at random.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he has a pretty long, prolific writing career. He also wrote the recent Gridman animes, including Dainezanon. So yeah, very prolific guy. And of course, I forgot to mention this in our pre-podcast talk, but if I can grab it in a second, there is a third guy who helped write this, Masahiro Yokotani, who, funnily enough, his only ever work experience in the entertainment industry is he wrote some episodes for a few anime like Detective Conan and such like that, and he then helped write the 2000 movie called Crossfire, directed by Shusuke Kaneko. So that's probably how he got this gig, because he helped write it with Kaneko, this 2000 film. Anyway, it's called Crossfire. So now he's given this big boy role, helping co-write a Godzilla movie.
Isn't
that wonderful?
Kaneko.
Good for him. And but nowadays he just kind of writes for anime. He's just on so many anime. Like if I went down the list, it'd be weird. Like it's breathtaking, actually. And also he wrote Tokyo SOS, one of the other Godzilla Millennium films. So I guess Toho liked him enough, they grabbed him for another Godzilla movie.
Tokyo SOS is good. That is a very good Godzilla film.
I need to watch it.
So, really interestingly, yeah, a lot of this movie's staff is just like, hey, we're grabbing some guys from like the Gamera Ultraman side of the Tokusatsu world, and we're gonna have you guys do a Godzilla movie. And they were awarded. This apparently had the most tickets sold of any Millennium Godzilla film.
Yes, it's one of the most successful Godzilla films of all time.
Oh, good.
Period.
Yeah.
Oh, and cannot forget to mention this. Music by Kao Otani. If you know anime, or like say you know Shadow of the Colossus, he's prolific. He did the Gundam Wing. He did the Shadow of the Colossus. He did he's everywhere for music and across industries. People love this guy.
I didn't make that connection, but yeah, okay. I love the music in this movie, and I Shadow of the Colossus is all that music's like inserted into my brain. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, this great guy.
You also reminded me, Kaneko actually appeared for a showing of Godzilla -1 in Japan as it was coming out, because specifically Kaneko's work with the Gamera movies. Takashi Yamazaki, that's his name. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got it.
He specifically said that the Gamera movies were a big influence on -1. So this dude is just kind of like, even if he's away from Godzilla, he's kind of tied to the hip to it.
Right.
He just made too many good things.
Right. Like here I am. I made some baller ass kaiju movies, and then I move on to other things in Japanese film industry. But people keep being interested in my shit. People love my shit.
Yeah, it's the thing where like you kind of go like, he only made one Godzilla movie and he didn't make any more specific monster kaiju toku stuff. But then you learn about his process, and the man was a very meticulous craftsman, or like he the kind of productions he wanted to work on and the people he brought in. It was very much about having all the details down. And you learn about his process in making Gamera in this movie, and you get the feeling that it's like, I'd be fucking tired after 4 of these things too. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And also he's, for a Godzilla movie, their production schedule back then, horrible. Less than a year to make a movie with all these miniatures and special effects and all these set pieces. And he's like a meticulous, like super meticulous director. That must have been hell for him.
Yeah. So you have this moment where you're like, well, he didn't make any more. Did they have a bad relationship or a falling out? And it just kind of sounds like,
no, dude.
Yeah, why would he? Well, who wants to make another one of these things? He kind of sometimes you accomplish what you set out to do, and you go, okay, moving on to the next thing. But yeah. Any things you want to talk about the production specifically? I did not get a chance to watch that doc you dropped.
I didn't either. I just kind of dropped it on you guys. Like maybe one of us will watch it. I'm so sorry.
Well, I know one funny thing. That really famous funny clip of what's that little bastard's name? I don't. What?
Baragon?
Who was it? Baragon. Yeah, that one clip of Baragon. The suit actress inside of it making like a cute little roar. That's from this movie.
Yes.
Oh. Which I'm pretty sure is in that docu thing, but yeah. I also did not get to watch it. Now you guys might be asking, hey, they're bringing this up a lot. How come they didn't watch it? Well, dear listener, it is because it is an hour and 30 minutes. It is as long as the actual
movie.
We're good.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'll watch it in my own time. Like, I'll casually watch it, but like, I feel like I've gotten a good gist of being able to discuss this film.
Yeah.
God, which we probably should do. We've talked around it a lot. Should we go into it?
Yeah. Yes. Let's get the recap out of the way now.
All right, recap. The Russ cap. Okay. This one might have some chronology off because I made it this afternoon and I was like falling asleep after going to the gym. So we'll see how it turns out if it's insane. Okay. This is the Russ cap. Okay. So to start, this is a sequel to Godzilla, the original movie from 1954. I don't have time to get into it because then I'd have to explain Japan's involvement in World War II. And to explain Japan's involvement in World War II, I'd have to explain Japan post-Reformation. Then I'd have to explain the Meiji Revolution. And listen, I don't have time for all that. We don't need more white guys' perspective on World War II anyway. All I'll say is that Godzilla was a guy who was a lizard, and he was very big, and everyone didn't like him, so they killed him, and they all think he's dead. But if you know anything from these movies, he's not dead. He's especially not dead when he makes a sub sandwich out of an American sub off of Guam. James Cameron mini sub style submarines are deployed by the great JDF. It's not the JSDF, it's the JDF.
Interestingly detailed.
Yeah. Anyway, this JSDF equivalent, that's always right about everything, to find the remnants of this submarine. Instead, they peep the spines of Godzilla near where the American submarine disappeared. Monster intrigue is sweeping Japan's defense forces top brass, including Admiral Taizo Tachibana, who's overwhelmed by this far-fetched kaiju dilemma. While this monster mayhem goes down, Taizo's daughter, Yuri Tachibana, is an investigative journalist for the sleazeball satellite paranormal outfit BS Digital Q. Between this and Kamen Rider Ryuki, apparently Toku creators had a Kotaku-level vendetta against outlets that reported on shit like two-headed frogs or whatever. I say all this because between Yuri's production staff, an evil biker gang, and the evil party mutants from hell, director Shusuke Kaneko creates a cromulent fuck-crustable of a situation. When all three representations of Japanese cultural decline destroy some local statue idols in wanton acts of impolite indiscretion. See, these were no mere lawn ornaments. They were wards against Godzilla, who is now extremely ready to crash down on Japan. Yuri senses a vibe shift after both the bikers and evil party pack mysteriously disappear. And the only thread connecting the disappearances being a mysterious hermit named Isayama who showed up and said cryptic shit at all of the grieved parties. Yuri tracks down the hermit. He is being held by the police and their fascist web dev in his jail cell. The hermit reveals to Yuri a startling truth. Godzilla is coming back, and fast. The only way to fight him off is to call on Japan's most loyal homies, the three guardian beasts. Everyone thinks this is the ravings of a lunatic, but Yuri is compelled by the message. She tracks down a funky-looking stone with her crew, and she ponders the nature of rocks and how they're like CDs, the technology we also use. Mm-hmm. She realizes that these stones must have held Godzilla at bay because he is more than just an evil lizard. Her dad, her not boyfriend, and Yuri realize that Godzilla isn't so much a metaphor on atomic warfare these days, but a physical embodiment of war and strife carried out by Japan in World War II. Yuri's dad is confused. What, we killed a bunch of people and never apologized and got super rich by pulling the levers of capitalism granted to us by a malevolent global superpower? And now bad stuff is happening to us? That doesn't seem fair. And Yuri is like, Dad, you're gonna have to watch Pat Labor 2 on your own time. We gotta deal with this Godzilla shit. Anyway, Godzilla jobs out Baragon and everyone's like, damn, Godzilla is tough as fuck. Godzilla indiscriminately murders a bunch of people and the militia can't do anything to stop it. A suicidal man stumbles upon Ghidorah, who has started to constitute himself to defend Japan as a sacred golden dragon, and Mothra gestates itself. Oh, I lost track. Itself into a cruise ship-sized cocoon featured in one of the coolest shots in the movie. Anyway, Yuri and the crew heads over to Yokohama to document the throwdown. Godzilla kind of owns both Mothra and Ghidorah, but Mothra sacrifices herself to give Ghidorah a power boost. Boosted Ghidorah drags Godzilla offshore into the ocean and everything's at a standstill. Yuri and her dad, representing bravery from both generations, both nearly sacrifice themselves following the event. Yuri documents the conflict as a journalist and tumbles off a collapsing bridge, nearly dying. Ghidorah summons a powerful burst of water that seemingly saves Yuri, left ambiguous if Ghidorah did this on purpose or not. Ghidorah dies after this one last act of goodwill, but his dying spasms leave an opening for Admiral Taizo. Taizo takes a mini-sub and rockets into Godzilla's gullet. He torpedoes a hole into Japan's most fearsome foe, punching a hole in his chest. Godzilla, despite the hole in the neck, feels cocky as hell now that he survived this interior attack. He decides to play land developer and clear Yokohama off the map for some potential beachside property using his atomic breath. But his atomic breath bursts from his wound, causing some kind of imbalance and vaporizing his internal organs. Somehow in the bedlam, Admiral Taizo finds a way to escape from the cavity he created. Father and daughter reunite, and they salute the military and laymen who stood up against Godzilla. Also, the old hermit guy was a ghost who apparently died in the first Godzilla movie. Speaking of, Godzilla's heart landed at the bottom of the ocean and started to beat again. Looks like the cycle begins anew. Catch y'all next time Japan's most famous big stomper comes around.
Woo!
Oh, man. Yeah. So I would like to say there is technically a follow-up to this movie.
Oh, yes. You brought this up.
So last year, Godzilla has a habit of crossing over with quite literally any franchise under the sun that are willing to give it, I don't know, like $50.
Yeah.
They have a meticulous control over the movies and the appearances in cinema, but the comic books, yeah, whatever. Throw them out there. Who gives a fuck?
So last year, Marvel, in partial agreement with Toho, that they were allowed to reprint the old 70s Godzilla comic books that they had at the time, because Godzilla is in fact a canon character to the Marvel universe. That's not a joke. Awesome. That's not, like, all those comics are canon.
Awesome.
So they released a series of one-shots called Godzilla Versus, where they just had him cross over with a bunch of other Marvel superheroes. So it was like Spider-Man, the Hulk, the Avengers. The Avengers is the worst one, by the way, as many such cases. The Fantastic Four. They're all, like, mediocre to pretty all right, but the best one is Godzilla versus Thor. And Godzilla vs. Thor is the only one of these one-shots to use a specific version of Godzilla. They bring out the beating heart that was left behind from this version of Godzilla at the end of GMK and resurrect him so he could destroy New York. Not New York, Japan. Again, he was resurrected by the Hand Ninja, a group of mystical ninjas from Japan who just do a bunch of weird shit all the time.
Oh, Marvel.
The guys who torment Daredevil and keep killing his girlfriends and stuff?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, awesome.
Decided, okay. We're gonna resurrect Godzilla so we can do some crazy shit. And Thor comes in to just be like, no, you're not. And he just beats the shit out of Godzilla and freezes him. And then the priestess brings out a part of the blade from Gore the God Butcher. Who is that? You don't need to know.
Okay. Okay.
What it means is that it makes GMK Godzilla the God Butcher, And what he does is destroy Asgard and kill every god except Thor. Because he's super powerful now, and his big white eyes are now black, and his spines are super spiky.
That's crazy.
And then he and Thor fight to the death in hell, and all that's left is like Godzilla's beating heart again, and broken pieces of Mjolnir, who are still reforming after their huge battle that lasted thousands of years.
Awesome.
So that's awesome. That's what happened to this Godzilla.
Hey, listen, it is illuminating on Godzilla because this was like the return to like Toho up to that point in Heisei and Millennium still had a vested interest in Godzilla as like kind of a badass, sometimes hero tweener, kind of superhero in between.
Yeah.
This movie, he's fully back to Godzilla the dickhead. He is Godzilla the bully. He has the big round belly that shows that he is a mean guy who does not give.
He's got a swagger when he walks about. Like there's a lot of like shooting up, like those kind of shots that like from bottom up, and he looks all big. He's walking towards the camera. I'm like, oh no, you're that boy. He comes that
yeah,
this Show era Godzilla, Show era Godzilla is very vested in the interests of the children of Japan and their future.
Yeah.
Or at least,
later like show at least, yeah.
Yeah. Heisei Godzilla is kind of indifferent to humans. He'll destroy things, but really he's more of a badass who beats up monsters. This Godzilla is mean. He's not a nice guy. He is fully invested in attacking random strangers and hurting them and squishing them between his fingers and laughing.
Yeah, this Godzilla definitely felt like a desire to return to what like the original Godzilla like represented destruction-wise.
Oh yeah.
I think it's used to really good effect. I think making it a sequel to the original film was very smart, as opposed to just having like a whole like different kind of Godzilla. I've noticed they do that a lot. Whenever they want like an evil ass like Godzilla, they're always like, all right, let's just bring out the original one. That guy like hated us. He hated us. Like that's what I don't remember if it's like the original. No, it's Kiryu. That's what it is. The Heisei era Mechagodzilla. He's like literally made out of the bones of the original Godzilla.
Oh, right.
That's why
what's going on.
He just randomly starts destroying Japan again because he's like, why am I alive again? I'm just going to kill you guys now. Like, stop being stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when Godzilla is like a vibe checker.
Yeah. I mean, they try to give real context to like, every other Godzilla movie is almost like a setup to why is Godzilla getting involved in this fight? Or why is he around? Or why he has to have a vested stake, a monster kaiju level stake in the proceedings. This one, it is, they provide a plot reason why he wants to, stomp Japan into paste. And, I mean, I already said it, but he's like what? I don't know if it's literal.
I feel like it's kind of literal.
It is
more speculative.
Literal, yeah.
It's more speculative, actually.
Yeah. But he is I'll say it, the thousands upon thousands of souls wronged in the Pacific conflict perpetrated by Japan, and given a embodiment, a form to attack Japan and destroy it, which is
to remind them like,
you
guys have forgotten about me. Literally, that's what they say.
Yeah. That's a really cool direction to take Godzilla.
And I agree. Like, it's like, they specifically say, this is American soldiers, Pacific War victims, which I'm sure includes Chinese people and Korean people, and Japanese soldiers, too, who gave their lives for this endeavor. So, it's a lot of hatred and anger and... It's a lingering, like ghost. Like there's a lot of ghost stories in Japan, like a Japanese fiction, like a grudge, a lingering spirit. That's what this Godzilla is essentially.
I was just gonna say, I think one of the wikis, it was either the actual Wikipedia page or like the really overly comprehensive Godzilla wiki.
Yeah.
But he's stated as an onryo, which is like an actual like vengeful spirit given like physical form.
I really did get like the first 45 minutes. Like the music was adventurous and the vibe wasn't, but it had the structure of like a J horror movie. Like literally Yuri, the protagonist, is like
very
sleazy
J horror core.
Yeah, like a J horror protagonist who's trying to get to the bottom of like a gross out mystery, except this time the jump scare. There's literally a Godzilla jump scare where the tourists look up and it's like, oh, Godzilla was there the entire time. But which is awesome. I did love that shot. But she's like investigating Godzilla's presence, and even then like a much I'm not gonna comment about it, but a podcast that's much smarter than ours. I remember I listened to an episode of Shelved by Genre, and they talked about have either of you ever seen the J horror film Pulse?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I haven't.
Yeah, it's about ghosts invading the modern world through the internet. It sounds very stupid, but it's very scary and very depressing.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I know that one's controversial. That has people who are mixed on it, and the ending is ridiculous. But I love that
really
movie.
Fucking funny.
The ending is it's like one of the like sharpest, meanest, darkest satire, like cruel movies about the nature of like post-bubble Japan and also the state of like the digital world
age and the internet. And yeah,
and then you watch the ending and you're like, I guess that happened, but I mean that's why I love it. But anyway, they talked about how J-horror, a lot of it is that Japan was like still steeped in mysticism and very much like Japanese thought and very like hidden away part of the world and not a lot of openness, and they developed so rapidly over the course of 100 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
That and part of that was abandoning the old ways so quickly that now that a lot of like that Shintoistic belief, a lot of it's just been lost or
co-opted,
like there's no way to go
like
co-opted or
shallow.
like exactly. And now like so many of those J-horror movies is like something from the medieval period of Japan that like nobody around can think like has any concept of, or like ghosts and onryu like you were saying, or vengeful spirits. And there's not even like in America we have our movies where we have demons, where we have the Catholic Church to go back to. In Japan they got rid of all that shit. Progress upward and forward, and this is kind of the same way where like Godzilla's poking his head back out. Yuri's the only one listening and everybody else is like, we'll just deal with it with bombs and guns and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who cares? We totally took care of them the first time. We're just taking credit, though, actually.
Yeah, exactly. No, so, it's just kind of fun. I love when these newer Godzilla movies are kind of going back to the horror vibe of that first movie. Because the first Godzilla movie is a horror movie.
It is.
People forget that.
Yeah.
Straight up. You see a kid get killed. Well, not like literally, but
the movie's practically shot in darkness. You don't see the damn monster. Like,
right? Is Godzilla scary now? Like having his threat. It's always funny in these movies when they try to make Godzilla like Jaws and hidden away and hidden in the corners, and it's like, well, he is the size of a skyscraper. You can only get away so much. Maybe that's part of the suspension of disbelief kind of thing.
Yeah,
but I really enjoy the kind of horror element of it, and I mean. That's what I liked most from -1 was it felt like a horror movie about this guy being haunted by an evil ghost, but the ghost was Godzilla and it just followed him everywhere.
Yeah.
And made his life living hell. Mm-hmm. And that's almost like spread out to all of Japan in this movie. Like all of Japan is being tormented by the spirit of Godzilla. And the only person who can figure this shit out is just this lady who decided to listen to the local crazy homeless guy. You know what I mean?
Right, I know what you mean.
I am unfortunately one of those really pretentious Godzilla fans who really likes metaphorical Godzilla a lot.
Yeah, I think we're on the same boat.
And this movie definitely gave me like a lot of like really strong elements of that. Even though this one, I wouldn't say it's metaphorical, more so quite literal, like quite in your face about it.
Yeah.
But I will say like that. Yeah, like I do like how this movie treats Godzilla as like this is just a straight up like monster. I have to think about it, but like this has the this has probably like one of the most like intentional like amount of civilian deaths from Godzilla I think I've ever seen. Like he was specifically targeting people.
Tormenting them.
We have that one scene, that one famous scene where like the lady who like survived the Godzilla attacks in the hospital and she's going crazy and squirming in her bed, and then she hears Godzilla pass by. It's like, oh god, okay. It's like, oh okay, he walked past me, and then suddenly you see the tail whip that specific floor she's on.
Yeah,
and all you could do is laugh, even though it's objectively it's terrifying, but at the same time it's like there's a comedic timing to it. There's a lot of that sort of thing in this movie.
I think about that the hotel scene too, where the guy's like just trying to pee at a urinal and he just looks out the window.
And he keeps shaking and it's like his piss is like getting everyone's like, oh fuck, and suddenly
I forgot about that.
Godzilla just steps on the hotel.
It's a slasher. It's like a Friday the 13th like so many scenes like that.
So funny.
Where it's like, guy in a situation. Oh, here comes the big guy.
I feel like so cool.
Yeah, this movie, like, usually Godzilla, like, at least, like, Happy Showa era, and even Heisei era, when they're trying to make him, like, a badass character who walks into these situations, he has, like, in the Showa era, he has the puppy dog eyes, and then in, like, you know, Heisei movies, he's kind of like these focused, like, intent eyes, like a falcon or something, like he's honing in on his prey. This one, in this one, he has just the whites of his eyes, just blank expression.
Yeah, no, it's
it really
all white.
is like you are disconnected from him. Like you get nothing out of him. The only thing is like gleeful actions. And what I'd say like -1 in Shin Godzilla, he has almost more like lizardy eyes, like
very
that you can't connect with them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think it's so funny you mentioned like because he has like really soulless eyes, but it's like this is like one of the most expressive I think I've seen Godzilla in terms of him being like in the rubber suit. Like the way his like face moves, like the way he's like
animatronics
and the
for
fact
this
that
movie
he blinks,
are excellent. The
animatronics.
It's
so cool. Like you can see when he's getting like visibly like annoyed when he's getting attacked by like the JDF, right?
Yeah, JDF. This time
the JDF and like I think like JDF and like Ghidorah specifically, like he moves his face. He's like, "What are you doing?
Are you doing what I think you're doing?"
Like it's so like interesting. Like this specific take on him. Like I sorry, something in my throat. He's attacking me now.
Oh no.
Ah, God. You know, going back to the plot a little bit and Yui specifically, I can see why Shin was so like I could definitely see a lot of like Shin Godzilla in this because there's a lot of like down talking to like Japan's bureaucratic government system in this movie.
Right.
Like so many of them are like, no, we're not going to employ the Godzilla defense strategy because we're not still sure he even exists. They just played like a video of this giant creature swimming underwater. What the hell else could it be?
A really good moment is when they see Baragon and the guy who sees him, who just doesn't know. He just thinks, oh, big guy, big monster, that has to be Godzilla. And they're like, wait, I thought we already saw Godzillas. Are 2 Godzillas? And there's like, and then you actually watch it. It's like, oh, it's Baragon. Okay.
I remember like the fisherman, like when the guy he was with, he was like, hey, they got that red Godzilla over there. And the fisherman just says, what are you talking about? Godzilla isn't red.
Red? Shut the fuck up, man. Man, there's like, there's so much good dialogue in this movie that feels like something like, I'm just going to call them this. These are like otaku types, like the people who wrote and directed this movie, like people who are like fans of the franchise.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's how else would you get that line at the beginning of the movie where one of the soldier cadets is like, you know, America called what they got in 1998 Godzilla, but that's what they called it. I don't think it actually was Godzilla. It's like, okay, Toho.
God, they hate that movie, dude. They hate that fucking movie.
you never hear people get negative. Like, I always think about the Akira Toriyama quote about the Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah.
And being like, I think it just went off the record a little bit. This is the maddest I've ever seen a Japanese media company like openly be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they might as well be like flipping off the screen. Like
it's very
you know
playfully mad. It's like playful, but it's like, okay, guys, all right.
In Japanese terms, that is like screaming, like, how dare they?
But yeah, there's a lot of like playful,
funny.
like for as much of this movie is about like, oh, Godzilla's like a slasher villain. He's fucked up and evil and vindictive. There's so many like funny scenes, intentionally funny scenes, like stuff you'd see like in a blockbuster of like, oh, look at these tourists. They want to take a picture of Godzilla or Baragon before they
because
run.
they think Baragon's cute.
They think he's cute, like in the tourist photo op.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, some of these scenes I'm watching, and I'm like, I could tell Kaneko's made some schlock before.
Oh, you want to know
what he's doing?
You want to know? I could tell you what he made. I'm not to disparage that, but he made his start, his film directing start, directing Roman Nikatsu films or pink films. If you know what pink films are.
Oh, really?
That's why that's what he did in the past. He directed movies for Nikatsu, the Roman porno series.
Oh, the comedy in this makes so much more sense now.
That's what he did. That's what he did in the
awesome.
80s. That's what he did in the 80s. A lot of sketchy films.
Pretty much.
But some of them,
sick.
I'm sure some of them have artistic value. I'm not going to say they don't. Of course not.
Sure. I mean, maybe you get some good scenes in there. I don't know.
I mean, no, there's some peak films people swear by that just happen to be labeled that, but are actually like trying to use it to be subversive in an interesting manner. But that's neither here or there. That's just saying that's what his past was before eventually in the 90s he got some clout to direct Gamera.
Oh, that's
oh yeah, for sure. No, I loved all the human scenes. See, it's funny because the plot. I mean, we talked about this before. It's not a perfect movie. I think we've been hyping it up, and the plot itself, the first 45 minutes feel like distinctly non-Toho. Way more back in the horror. Godzilla as this like faceless evil entity. I found that stuff really compelling, and then the rest of the movie is
very
like
normal
I said with
Godzilla stuff.
Almost like his Gamera movie, his Guardian of the Universe movie, where it felt like his deliberate statement. Hey, the Showa formula works. You just have to give it the time, care, and attention of modern production, and people will still like it. Which I 100% appreciate. I'm glad somebody is out there still making that kind of style of movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little stock. It's just a little like, I've seen this and done this before. You know, reluctant military official who's sacrificial.
Tries to sacrifice
the journalist,
himself,
yeah. The journalist trying to make it. The plot isn't, you know, it kind of goes back to the standard stuff, which I get. We all like it, though.
Yeah.
It's weird. I wasn't really feeling the human element in this movie.
Yeah,
I think
the human elements are in those little
fine.
moments. That's
all
I'm trying to say. Is the human
ahead.
element is in the hotel when they're having the girls feel sad that they had to kill Godzilla. They think he was kind of cute. When the guy's taking the piss, the
suicidal
like,
guy in the suicide forest who happens upon King Ghidra.
I just remembered a great death, and the only death in this movie who the monster can have a clear conscience about. It's my goat Mothra, where she kills all those like really shitty teenagers.
Partying teenagers. Yeah. She the fucking like her larva form or whatever it's called. Her when she's a little worm.
Oh yeah, we're gonna throw this dog in a lake. Like like oh my god,
they were awesome. I wondered if they were inspired by like the original Toxic Avenger movie because it reminded me of that level of like crass evilness,
crass evil teenagers who fuck up places and steal from a grocery store.
Yeah, that does feel kind of trauma-esque, doesn't it?
It has those vibes.
Because it was funny because those characters kind of stood in for like, the degradation of Japan. What happens when you forget that your dark past is you have the evils come out in different ways, like Yankee teenagers being annoying, which it's so funny in anime and like manga that's specifically built around like Yankee characters. It's like, oh, they fight each other and it's all about combat. And in this movie, they're just annoying. Like they're just annoying. They're like the annoying teenagers.
Like, there's two separate annoying like Japanese youth bits. It's the biker gang, which felt like straight out of the 90s, just kind of circling around that official from the island in a car with his lady, with his mistress or whatever. And then the other one is just straight up rowdy, bleached hair Japanese youths just looting a grocery store.
You know what I think is really funny about that stand-in with that group in particular? The degradation of Japanese society in this movie's eyes are these teenagers acting like Americans in 80s movies.
In 80s movies, yeah.
Yeah, Porkies and shit. Oh, I got 100% get you.
I'm like, these are like a punk group from like the Lost Boys.
Right, no, for sure, that's hilarious.
But there's a lot of human scenes in this movie, like more than you'd think there'd be, and they spend a lot of time like setting things up. Is just kind of like once it gets to the climax where Godzilla's in the middle of the city at night, it just all right, it's time for this now.
Yeah. Although I will say, a lot of Godzilla during the day, is which for like newer age Godzilla films is very underrated and underutilized.
Yeah, Godzilla versus Baragon, this movie is great stuff.
I will say watching that specifically, like the Baragon fight, was very weird because I've been to that part of Hakone.
Oh,
really?
Wow. Like that part where all the tourists were walking on. Like where the tourist was like taking her picture with Baragon in the background. I was like at that exact spot. I visited like the gift shop that Godzilla steps on.
Wow. Okay.
That was very weird to see that. Speaking of Baragon.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want Baragon to die because I agreed with the tourist lady. Baragon is very cute in this movie.
Baragon was
adorable.
cute. He seemed nice. I mean, I made the joke that he got jobbed out. I told Hunter earlier, Stix, you know what Alpha Flight is in the Marvel comics?
Alpha what?
Alpha Flight. They're the Canadian they're like the Canadian Avengers. And their
that
sole
sounds
purpose
really bad because the Avengers are already kind of lame, but go on.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. But their sole purpose in the Marvel comics is to show up and get beaten by whatever Doctor Doom is working on this week.
Oh.
And then have the actual team, like X-Men or the Avengers, show up and be like, they beat Alpha Flight? No way! Alpha Flight's made up of some of the toughest MFers around, And they've never won a fight. They're always getting jobbed out. I felt like
God. Okay.
Baragon 100% was definitely sent in to be like, this Godzilla is meaner, he is crueler, and he is more kick-ass than any Godzilla we've seen before. Look what he did to Baragon. He tore him to pieces, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, that reminds me.
Put his
God.
name in the movie. Like he's not even in the title.
Poor guy. Poor victim. Okay. There's one thing I want to note about that scene that I think was very cute is that on the helicopter, the guys who were reporting it just start doing fight commentary. They start doing fight commentary, and the government's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Stop doing fight commentary over this filming footage you're doing for the news."
Run, Baragon, run!
Right.
Like they were like cheering him on like commentators. It was like it made me think of. I know it's because it's recent Bay and Geki Ranger.
Yeah, exactly. That's so
they just ended up getting killed anyways. Godzilla threw Baragon at him.
Yes. This
I
movie
forget.
is a lot of things,
goes
you
like-
know? It's a lot of things.
Oh God, they're dead.
At least with my subtitles, Yuri pointed and went, the guys in the helicopter have died. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure.
So chronologically, I forget. Was it after the Baragon fight where Godzilla actually goes into the city?
Yes.
Or was that
yeah.
before?
Yes.
Okay. After that, I wanted to bring this up specifically because I know we've been talking about Godzilla a lot. We haven't talked about Mothra King Ghidorah that much, but this movie has one of my favorite depictions of the atomic breath that I think I have ever seen.
Yes.
When Godzilla fires it off. You don't see it happen. It just cuts to like a grade school class, and they hear this loud boom, and the teacher goes to the window to look at it, and it's just this giant mushroom cloud.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And she just says, "Is that an atomic bomb?"
Like, yeah, it's like, nuke?
That's so cool.
It's so audacious is what it is.
So many movies forget the atomic part of atomic breath. Shin and -1 like completely understood it, but like it's not a laser beam. It is a pure concentrated force of nuclear energy. They're getting fired with like the full force of Chernobyl, and it's just depicting that in just pure silence.
Speaking of Chernobyl,
with the giant cloud is just so cool. But that's like my favorite scene in the movie.
It's a really good scene, which they kind of like forget about later when he just starts spamming the breath, but it's Godzilla, whatever. But speaking of Chernobyl, when at the end we're like, oh, it looks like the daughter's gonna hug the dad. He's like, wait, I'm probably irradiated because I was inside Godzilla. I was like, that's a very good touch. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. It's so funny because that was we'll go more into it. I wanted to ask your feelings on Yuri and Taizo's relationship and if it was good or not in the movie.
I think it was fine.
We can save that for later.
It was there.
I think
that's the thing.
How I felt about it.
Listen, Godzilla -1, I do have problems with it. I don't think it's a perfect movie. I kind of hold it on the same level as this movie. What that movie did get right is the whole arc and the crux of the character and the relationship he had with his love interest. I feel like the emotional center of the movie was supposed to be Yuri and Taizo. And it was supposed to be like this generational clash. Like, oh, Yuri is part of this lost generation. She works a weird job in like media, and he's like a hardened military. Will they ever? But in the end, that they both are brave in their own way. And I'm like, this is so fakey. It's like so contrived that I had a hard time getting invested.
Yeah, there's a lot of plot armor for Yuri not to be that guy.
Insane amounts. Insane amounts. It's so funny.
It's hilarious how she keeps living through all these insane attacks.
Listen, they have to blow up every miniature that they show in the movie because there are like 5 or 6 shots in this movie like, oh, look how cool this miniature is. Are you excited to blow it up? But she's like in half of them. She like half the time things explode, she's inside of them. And every time she tries to kind of gets up and gets like a one-piece Zorro bandage around her head. She's like, I'm better now. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, no. I mean, I thought it was charming that Yuri and the dad both realized that they have common ground in being stubborn and suicidal.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even remember the name of the guy. All I remember is that he was really tall. He had a deep voice. And
the
yet
love interest?
Like the guy with the glasses.
Science fiction writer. Yeah.
Which they don't bring up. Why is the guy in these movies always like a sci-fi writer?
Easy archetype, easy character. That reminds me when they got the trio. When they had like the guy from the station who had a thing for her, and the science fiction writer, and her in the middle in that train. All I could think of is, we're back in Ultra Q.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, maybe it's straight up a reference. Like it could be.
Or it could be a very common archetype in Japanese kaiju films. Who knows?
Maybe, but like I'm leaning towards reference because I remember when I guess we can finally start talking about the other two. Like, I remember when Mothra finally hatched, which, by the way, great redesign in this movie.
Oh, yeah, she looks really cool.
She's awesome.
She looks great. Purple eyes for
love
Mothra.
That shot.
Yeah, purple. Very interesting.
But when
the news... sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, when she was flying through the city, they showed the twins.
Yeah,
like the twins that are usually associated with... And it plays a little stinger of Mothra's theme.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool.
Which is very cool. Sorry, Russ, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say one of my I referenced it in the recap, but I love the scene where the helicopter flies over like the miniature of like the ship-sized cocoon she's gonna come out of,
and
it's like, man, this is the most hype Mothra's ever been because all you can think about the entire time is like, oh, I am so excited to see Mothra again.
Yeah.
And when her form's revealed, you're like, holy shit, she looks badass.
Oh my god,
she doesn't,
yeah.
She doesn't look like a prop being flown around the room. She feels like a real, like...
We should talk about the special effects of this movie, because honestly, that's the most impressive part of this movie, which you should be.
Yeah.
It's a big money like, I joked about this on Blue Sky, but yeah, this is probably the biggest budget thing we've watched so far. Which, no offense to everything we've watched before, but it's like, wow, okay, the CG and the practical effects all like blending nicely. There's like the previous Godzilla movie I've seen before this was King Kong vs. Godzilla, and the compositing in that movie is really rough because it's an early 60s color Godzilla movie. And then I watched this, and the compositing is like mostly perfect to the point it's like, wow, that looks really good. They really nailed this, like molding like the suit on top of like an actual like people level shot of like, you know, like doing the scale of that, and like it's seamlessly blended the special effects shot and like the normal shot of the, you know, the human actors, or like the miniature shot is merged with, say, the person in a window, and it zooms out and it becomes a miniature, and then it gets crushed.
Looks really nice. Yeah.
Where it's like, okay.
I think there's even a shot of like a train going by that I was like, oh, that's a nice shot. I wonder what Japanese train that was. And then like 10 seconds, I'm like, oh, it's a miniature. Oh, they tricked me. They're going to blow that up later. So,
yeah.
I do think the movie has some iffy usage of CG.
It does.
Sometimes.
Near the end, mostly.
But when the CG looks good, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Going back to Mothra, when her wings start growing, and it's like slowly forming out like the pattern and the wingspan.
The Mothra wings?
It's animated so well.
Mm-hmm.
I think the beam effects too. They did a good job at like at least like attempting to appear like they're actually there.
Right.
Like
they
whenever
don't look
a beam
like
has to hit
animation.
Yeah, like whenever a beam hits like a body of water, you see like the water actually like move and jump up.
Yeah.
Which man. It is a very good looking movie. It is a very, very nice looking movie.
The scales in King Ghidorah's necks. Oh my god, they look phenomenal.
Oh yeah, like that. Oh man, like the ice cavern. Like when he's like frozen in there too. Like
yeah, that was a cool scene. Like I made me wonder like how they like the composite. Like oh fuck, man, that's filmmaking right there. You know?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. God,
I was gonna be like, this couldn't have been the most expensive movie we watched. And I was like, well, most of Cutie Honey was just scenes in
an office,
like
or in
an office,
building.
And then I was like, well, okay. Then we saw Ultraman, and that was a lot of green screen. Yeah, this is
a lot of
green screen.
Yeah, a lot of the handcraftedness of all this. I'm impressed. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, this is 100% the most expensive thing we watch, because it's like, this is still Godzilla when he's like coming back, like, and he's still really popular. It's not like the dying breath of Ultraman or like a TV show sized budget for like Kamen Rider.
The movie before this one was apparently a flop. This one kind of kept it a little bit on live support for a bit, but I don't know. Just funny. It's just funny.
We want to talk about the roles that Mothra and King Ghidorah have in this, which are, I'd say, probably are hotly contested, because this is not what King Ghidorah usually does.
No, not at all.
This
this is not only a completely different role, but a completely different like origin for it. Because with Mothra, it makes sense.
Yeah, she's usually doing heroic type stuff, anti-Godzilla type stuff.
But Ghidorah?
She's motherly and protective. Yeah, this one, Ghidorah. I kept saying Ghidra. I mean
that was
it's either or. It's either or. I've heard it pronounced both ways.
I'm doing Boku no Hero Academia shit. It's Ghidra. No, but Ghidra to me, like I said earlier, he was my second favorite as a kid, besides Godzilla, of course, because we all love Godzilla. But he was always my second favorite because I just love like this like. Two monsters I didn't even know what a suit actor was, but like having this haughty attitude and having like, I'm better than you, Godzilla. Like how they were able to do that is so awesome. And then in this movie, he's like
regal. Yeah. No funny laughter. He's just all business. He has a fucking energy ball in this one.
Yeah.
But the thing about King Ghidorah is that in most pieces of Godzilla media, 100% a villain.
Yes.
He is like,
Yes.
oh, Godzilla's bad, this guy's worse.
Worse.
Not only that, he's typically from space.
Mm-hmm.
He is not a monster born of Earth. In this one, not only is he born from Earth, he is a complete, like, benevolent spirit.
Yeah.
Who just wants to defend Earth. Which is definitely different.
He's like a kind dragon, like in Chinese mythology. Like he's there to protect.
Yeah.
He's like a protective spirit of Japan, which is so weird and funny to say after like what movies where he's an alien or like some violent sociopath.
Okay, we have a reason though for why these two monsters aren't how they usually act, and it's because of Toho meddling. You ready?
Oh, really?
Kaneko's original script for the film was going to be Varan, Baragon, and Anguirus.
Oh, well,
and they
thank
were
God
like,
they changed
really?
They were like, Varan and Anguirus? No, we need people go to the fucking movie theaters. We're getting King Ghidorah and Mothra. So that's why these two monsters act weird.
I agree with this, Jay. Genuinely.
Listen.
Varan sucks. Like, Varan's a dork.
Look, Kaneko's probably a big Godzilla otaku, and was like, "Oh, I want my Scrimblow kaiju in this movie," and he wrote a big nice script for it.
Oh no, yeah, those are like real head choices.
Yeah, Baragon, and Anguirus. It was Godzilla cross Varan, Baragon, Anguirus, giant monsters all out attack. So they just they kept Baragon, took him out of the title, and put in Mothra and King Ghidorah.
Yeah, you know
That's
what,
awesome.
Russ? I think when you said that the last movie didn't do too well, I think you might be on the money with this one. Mm-hmm. They were probably like, the last movie didn't do well, and you're expecting us, and you want us to put Varan and Anguirus?
The funniest thing is like the previous two movies were original monsters, Orga and Megaguirus, and they're like, oh, let's put Varan in it. No, if we're gonna bring up returning monsters, we got to bring the two most popular returning monsters.
Like, you are out of your
fucking
gourd,
mind,
my man. Like,
I get it. I like both. I think in the Alt universe where this is a bomb, because who gives a fuck about those monsters?
And Anguirus.
But yeah, there is that part of me that would defend it in that way. That's like, listen, they got a shot. They gave him a shot. Coach, they put him in. But also, this is interesting in that they're switching the roles around. They're trying something different, and for the most part, I like it. And I like that they trust the audience enough that they don't have to go bend over backwards to explain to you why
they're weird and different.
Ghidorah is a good guy in this one. Yeah. They just go, hey, enjoy the ride. Mm-hmm. Ghidorah's good in this one. Deal with it. If you don't like it, if you're some guy on YouTube who gets mad about like
the original characters, the characterization,
the spirit of the character, it's like they just trust you. And if you don't like it, then there's 40 other Godzilla movies you can go watch.
Yeah, the fact that they like established that, like, no, this is a sequel to the original. Those other movies did not happen in this one.
That lets you buy
it
in.
like a lot more. It makes it a lot more like believable and understandable.
Right.
Like, and again, going back to like redesigns, Ghidorah looks great in this.
Yeah.
Really, really detailed heads. Like, really.
Speaking of heads, I don't know if Wikizilla is telling me the truth here, but Fuyuki Shinada, who designed the monster suits for this film, was disappointed that Varan, his all-time favorite monster, wasn't gonna be in the film. All right, man. So he compromised by putting some of Varan's facial features on King Ghidorah's 3 heads. I don't know if that's...
You know what?
I don't know if that's hearsay.
That.
It seems like some fan mythology shit, but maybe it's right.
It sounds made up, and I don't know if I fully believe it, but Ghidorah's face now
it does look a little different.
It does. It has like a lot of Varan's like features. It's a lot more like angular. with the like this is gonna sound like such really dork, stupid bullshit. But like the snout looks a lot more like pronounced.
Mm-hmm.
And he's definitely a lot more scaly, like Varen is. No, I can see that. I don't know if that's true. I think that'd be a crazy thing to do out of spite.
Yeah, it seems like kind of a fanboy thing to say, but who knows? Who knows?
I think that'd be fun if that was real.
Right. I like if they put little annotations, references. All right.
Just trust me, bro. No, it's on a bonus feature, like a really, really old Godzilla TV special, a behind the scenes thing. It's like, just trust me, man.
All right.
It's in a magazine that's never been translated, but I read it.
It's
and
in
I know
a guidebook.
exactly what it says.
My favorite version of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ghidorah, and I like that Ghidorah like looks like the only one. Baragon looks like somebody who's gonna get their ass kicked, but he is cute. You feel
he
bad
did
that
his
he gets
role.
his ass
He did his
kicked by
role.
the only one that stands a chance is Ghidorah, you know?
Even though they gave Mothra some neat attacks, like a pin missile, like barrage type deal.
That was fun.
Yeah, you know, the famous stingers moths have.
Totally.
And how do we feel about them turning into Phantom Dust, the Xbox original?
Yeah, she does like a Piccolo where she gets in the way of the blast meant for Ghidorah, and then the essence of Mothra and I guess Baragon spirits there too enhances Ghidorah to be like Super Saiyan, and then he does an energy ball, and then he tackles Godzilla into the ocean. I was like, all right, I'm going with it, sure. Why not?
I love the fact that Ghidorah totally had that before one of the human soldiers completely whiffs.
No,
he doesn't whiff.
Godzilla does something intentional. He was like, "Oh, you're going for me? Let me move out of the way so it hits one of Ghidorah's heads instead." It's like, what? Fuck. It's a big fuck moment. Shit.
That's another thing. Yeah, when Ghidorah goes like Super Saiyan, he doesn't have his wings until that moment.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
He's just
a dragon. God, that is cool. Oh, one other thing, I like that we see a little bit of blood when they fight.
There's some blood in this.
When Godzilla chomps down on one of the necks and it just starts bleeding. That's so cool.
I love when kaijus bleed.
Really smart doing it for Ghidorah too, because the blood will be super noticeable on him.
Yeah,
because of the color.
The color, right?
I love the final act of this movie.
Oh, the final act! Great popcorn shit. It's great stuff.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff on the ground too. I like how Mothra just almost intentionally gets a group of soldiers
Yes! Oh my god, when they're watching, and then like Mothra had to like dodge, and the nuclear blast instead hits the top floor of that building. I was like,
she saw them. Like
that was actually one of the fun characterization things about the movie. And it goes back to the horror vibe we were talking about, where they were talking about like, well, these guardian spirits, they don't defend Tokyo. Tokyo was not here thousands of years ago.
They're defending Japan, the land itself.
Yeah,
the place, the island, like they don't give a fuck about the little animals scurrying around on it, like you little puny
the civilization
humans.
Going on here.
I mean, they do have Ghidorah at the end, or Ghidorah. keep saying Ghidorah and switching between the two. Anyway, they might have saved Yuri, or maybe not.
With the water bubbles.
Maybe
it was coincidental. Who knows?
It's up to your own interpretation. If you think Ghidorah is just like a nice guy, then he saved her. If you just think,
I think he did because she gave him the mysterious rock.
That's right.
I was wondering, like, what's that gonna do?
Why would he give a fuck? I don't know. The magic rock. By the way, how do you feel about rocks and if they're magic or not? Because this movie postulates that rocks are magic.
That's such a movie thing. I was like, I bought it. Whatever.
This feels like a cultural element because I think those are supposed to be like guardian statues. So like they are supposed to be mystical in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, the same thing with
I think it makes sense as much as like all the other spiritual stuff in this movie.
Yeah, that makes sense. it was just funny because I think that's literally the only reason the sci-fi writer was brought on, so he could stroke his chin and be like, rocks are kind of like CDs. They engrave information upon them. I was like, okay, whatever, man.
Oh god, like that is the most like 2000s thing.
That is such a 2000s thing.
Ever said.
Oh my god.
They record data like CDs.
Okay.
Like, okay, dude, did your writing degree let you figure that one out?
Yeah. So it was a very fun movie. I am a little sad that I don't think the human plot, like the capital P plot between this father and daughter movie, I don't know if it got the time to breathe, and it wasn't tearing my heart out, but like the little human moments, the kaiju characterization, like everything about it, solid as a freaking rock.
It's a solid movie.
Yeah.
It's not like a favorite of mine, but I would say it's solid. At least
I could see why it's so like influential and popular among Godzilla fans.
And it's just that thing where it kind of like it goes back and rests on Godzilla laurels at the end. It's very well done at that, but I think we do all crave the novelty and them trying something different, which is what we got out of Shin Godzilla and -1.
Speaking of made those
so why we liked them so much at the time, and why sometimes like that when the novelty wears off, we feel lesser about something. One or the other. Anyway,
if anything, I wish the movie went a little further with its ideas. I don't think it went far enough with its vengeful spirit aspect with Godzilla.
Like,
and that's how I felt about his Gamera movie, the one Gamera movie I watched, where I was like, oh, this is so beautifully handcrafted. I wish they kind of twisted or did something different.
I'm sure the second and third ones did that. I just haven't seen them.
That's my hope. That's my hope. I gotta get back to it.
Yeah, because there is something to be said about the idea of like a giant monster representing like the forgotten horrors of a nation.
Yeah,
like of like multiple people, and like the idea of like being of like something so terrible just being forgotten to the point where it becomes like a rumor. Like that's not even like outside of like the actual spirits, like the film itself treats Godzilla as like a forgotten memory of the nation in the universe. It's just to the point where some people don't even believe he exists.
It's like, and it's a thing, whatever.
Yeah, and I think that's like such a compelling idea, and I do kind of wish it did more with that. I love my Godzilla. I love when he smashes big building and roar. I clap my hands and like stomp my feet in the movie theater and bother those around me. But I love the idea of, I kind of wish there were more scenes of humans just like talking about the like that idea of like forgetting something so horrible. And that like that's why like this giant horrible like force of nature is like descending upon them to remind them of that. Like that like a scar doesn't always heal.
Could not agree more. Could not. You said it better than I.
Yes.
Good job.
Two things with regard to that. One is that there is one scene that I wish more of the movie was like, when Tachibana is like, yeah, I was there in 1954. I was a kid. And I saw when Godzilla, like, he describes, like, how the buildings were, like, melting. It was burning in the background. Like, it immediately brings to mind the Sea of Fire scene in that movie. And it even shows a little flashback of him, like, of his parents getting killed and him looking for them. It's like, oh, this is, like, a guy with a history, which I'm sure a lot of Godzilla movies have that guy who has a history with Godzilla scene. But I don't know, I really liked it in this one. And second of all, I am absolutely agree with you, Hunter. I wish they did more with the whole, it represents the thousands of souls of victims of the Pacific War. I feel like they could have gotten nastier with it. And you might say, what do you mean nastier? He kills people in this. No. I mean like direct target type nasty, like destroying shrines type. Maybe not that harsh, but like feeling more direct in its targets, like say, I don't want to give examples, like more, but I don't, because obviously this is a popcorn flick. They wanted this to be a wide mainstream release. They didn't want to be too controversial with it. But also, like, maybe
This-
like they would have destroyed a few military bases out of his own like vindictiveness, maybe before it got to the
I think
climax.
that's why he's specifically heading to Tokyo.
Right, that makes sense.
To like
yeah.
destroy like the quote unquote like symbol of the country.
Right.
This feels GMK feels like if they made this movie now, I think they would try to go all the way with it.
Yeah,
Because and, like
Yeah.
like given like how like Shin and -1 are, especially Shin,
especially
God.
Shin. Jesus Christ.
I feel like they would try to go all the way with
On
like
the commentary, yeah.
yeah. I've said it earlier in this recording and I'll say it again. Like symbol Godzilla, there's nothing like him. And
No.
it's like it's such a the fact that they're able to like use it's silly. It's a giant lizard with the face of a gorilla. That's why he's called Gojira.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
like it's just like the concept of like this creature existing is silly, but the fact that you can use him to represent something so evil or it's something so like upsetting, I think is like a testament to how strong of an idea Godzilla is.
Yeah,
Like
I love him as
I
I
don't
love him
know.
as a superhero. I love him when he's badass, and I love him when he's a slasher villain. And of course, it's nice. It's a nice detail when he's also something really horrific and a symbol of something as well.
Yeah.
I guess that was my question of the week. Sorry, am I? Does anybody else have any final thoughts?
Oh, I want
No,
to
I
go
like
in
this
on.
movie.
I like this movie.
If
But go ahead.
anything, this recording made me like it even more. Because
Mhm.
I will admit, like after I watched it, I was like, yeah, that was some pretty good Godzilla stuff. But no, this is definitely like a movie. Like the more it sits with you, I think the more it kind of
Right.
like really
Well, it
like
just kinda-
gets with you.
It has so much good stuff, and then it kind of ends on like another Godzilla movie. You kind of forget, and as having this conversation, like there was some like fun, interesting stuff, really interesting things going on at the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, it's time for Stix mentions actors time.
Oh, of course.
All right, so the sci-fi writer who's just kind of a lame love interest man who isn't really one. I was like, surely he plays someone. He looks so familiar. Have I seen this guy? Like, where have I seen this guy before? A few years later, he was like one of the big bads of Kamen Rider Kabuto near the end. Looking totally
okay.
different, looking like a total greaseball, real casual looking, but he is there. That's his actor. Next one, Hideyoki Watanabe, the GOAT. Like, once you see him, like, oh, he has a very recognizable face. He's the guy who's at the beginning of the movie and also near the end helping our Tachibana, that guy, that military guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the actor Hiroyuki Watanabe, he's in Garo, he's in Gamera, he's in Ultraman, he's in Kamen Rider, he's in so many different things. He has, of course, film history outside of that. Great guy, unfortunately passed away a few years ago. But like very recognizable face, always a great time to see him on the screen. And the most random sighting is just a kind of more of a face role. Is one of the majors in that like military room is played by the actor for Ichijo from Kamen Rider Kuga, the police guy who's friends with
Really?
Godai.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Shingo.
I'm having that moment. I'm like,
I've seen that face before. I was like, it can't be. I must be like being bigoted or something. No, that's Shingo Katsuriyama.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a few years after
okay.
Kuga. He's here. And another thing, that old man, Professor the Isayama guy, that's played by Hideo Amamoto, who has a long history doing stuff for Toho in the 50s and 60s, but also he was Dr. Shinigami in the original Kamen Rider show.
Wow.
Oh, really?
And he was Dr. Wu in one of the King Kong movies from the 60s. So yeah, long history.
Oh,
lot
wow.
of
Okay.
cool actors. Yeah, this guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I was like, I recognize this face, but I don't remember. And the wiki shows me, oh, I'm right. I'm right. I love
He's
when I'm
the
right.
connection back to those old, the early Godzilla movies that
Or the old, like,
really
just
show
random
up.
Toho Tokusatsu from back then, like Matango and Atragon and whatever.
He's supposed to feel like a relic, a ghost of the past.
Yes.
Probably because all
the
the old guys from the original movie are
He's
dead.
funnily enough, he's not. He was not in the original Godzilla movie. You think it would be an actor from then, but no, he's not.
I had that thought, and then I had to shake my head and be like, "Wait, no! All those people would be way past or retired."
Like
as hell.
potentially, you could have if you, but no.
40 years after, I don't know. I don't know.
Almost 50.
It's
I mean, they
a
could have
stretch.
been in their 70s and 80s. Japanese people tend to live long in terms of like lifespans. But yeah.
Can I bring up one funny thing about Masahiro Kobayashi?
Sure.
Of course.
I was looking up his his credits, and he's no longer the voice of him. He retired after a remake. But he was the Japanese voice actor for Barrett
from in Final Fantasy VII.
That's awesome.
So he did Add with
nuts,
Children and all those different compilation shit.
He was also the the Japanese dub voice actor for Chef in South Park.
That's crazy.
This random guy.
I just
what
saw
is that lovely?
Yeah. Golly. What a flick.
Pop culture.
Jeez Louise. Gosh, we've gotten pretty long already, but I did have a question of the week. But this is more just a question to all of you. We can make it short. I'm curious after watching this movie, and it almost straddles like a little bit of silliness. It's dark. It's mostly dark. But like you said, it has those moments of comedy. And now we're getting close to a decade of Godzilla, symbolism Godzilla as metaphor, handing him off to different auteurs and seeing what their take on it is. Do you both have a place you want to go back to with Godzilla, or like a direction you want to go? Would you want to go back to Showa silliness, or like dark 80s synth pop, secret society?
Personally, I think it would be good for the podcast if we did Showa, when we go back to Godzilla. Mostly because like so much of Godzilla's history is in the Showa era.
Oh, I was saying
the future direction for
the
Godzilla.
Franchise. Yeah,
you were going,
if Toho Studios, some insane person was like, well, we finally trust Westerners, but only one, and his name is Hunter. Only for the first time we've ever trusted one, and it's just you. Well, is there a direction you want to go? And also with the podcast, even.
Man, okay. I would like a Godzilla film, like lighter in tone, from Toho. I would like a Godzilla film that has more than just Godzilla in it from Toho, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would like a monster versus monster film. I think they would probably make something really fun with it. I don't even think they need to make like a whole new like kaiju or anything. Just like redesign like an old one. Because I know American films really like doing like their Independence Day schlock like action nonsense, but I think like a current day Toho, with all the experience and money that they have now, like making these a lot, I would say like more artistically driven Godzilla films, could stand to make something just a little simpler.
Yeah,
I agree.
Not even for like anything other than let's just like take a small break. Let's maybe not have Godzilla be like such a heavy figure. Maybe we do want to watch him like throw a tank at like another monster. Maybe that would be fun. I think I would like that. I don't know if they could do like full Showa era silliness.
No.
Because because tastes in like film have changed so much. I don't think it would work. But I would like something lighter than like a -1 or I guess -0 because that comes out
That's gonna come out
in
soon.
year of this recording. But yeah, I would like something lighter, maybe more, maybe like a bit of a mix of like Heisei in there with like some like weird science in it.
Weird science
shit. I can't for the life of me remember. There was a podcaster I listened to who talked about Destroy All Monsters and being a child, and I do love that movie. But the promise of that movie is like a battle royale with monsters, and really that's just all of them ganging up and beating up on King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Having a movie that actually did sit down and do the battle royale,
I mean,
without being full-blown Final Wars insanity, like a grounded monster battle. Because
how would that get
Final
grounded,
Wars? I don't know. That's why they pay somebody else the big bucks, stick me in a room.
Ooh,
but
I have a few ideas, but that's something for another day because we've been going on for a while.
All right, let me get my shot in. So with Godzilla, my answer is bring back Suitmation. We can't be relegating that to Ultraman TV shows that can't have enough budget.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate. I mean, it's nice that it lives on through Ultraman TV shows, the art of Suitmation, but we need that back with a big budget. Oh my god, can you imagine? Because
I agree.
Because we see these Godzilla Fest shorts where they have to do Kickstarters, and it's like, what are we doing, Toho? What? Why? Why is it like this?
If I could defend them a little bit, they do still use Suitmation techniques for mocap for Godzilla. They still make physical props and everythting.
I know they do.
But no, I agree. Make that full-on rubber suit with like animatronic like features inside of it.
Right.
I think it should take 4 guys to operate one Godzilla suit. I think that should happen.
But also, like, again, Godzilla tastes go and come in phases. Like, I'm sure after Final Wars, people were like, we just want to back to basics Godzilla, which we ended up getting eventually.
It took them a while.
But it finally happened. But now, after all these, like, serious ones from Japan, people were like, okay, we want something with a second monster there, or maybe more of like a monster versus monster deal. So it feels like more of like a thing comes in phases, like, you know, how people talk about video game cycles, like the Sonic cycle or the Zelda cycle. People have Godzilla cycle, you know, people want the standalone Godzilla horror movie, but then now they're like, okay, now we want something a little lighter. And yeah, but I'm right now with you, Hunter. I want something with a second monster in the fray, and I would like to have Suitmation, but I know that's not gonna be a thing. But another thing with Toho, which I've been noticing a weird trend with, is that they're like, we can have the Americans do these silly big budget monster disaster movies, but for Japan, we'll have the auteur driven stuff. And it's like, why can't we have that switched around once? Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't it be funny to have there's a serious American auteur Godzilla? Not Gareth Edwards.
Oh, God.
Not Gareth Edwards.
Imagine that.
But then Japan gets something nice and something that you would see from the early 2000s. Wouldn't that be a nice switch around instead of whatever this weird dynamic we have going on with the MonsterVerse? I don't know.
Give Godzilla to one of the Safdies.
I do think about this one time on the Mega 64 podcast. Rocco was talking about the Godzilla movies and how people would defend the MonsterVerse movies and be like, the MonsterVerse movies should be allowed to exist. Yeah, and then
bullshit.
he was like, every time he hears that argument, he's like, there should be allowed to be bad movies and then the good ones. They should be allowed to make bad ones, but also the good ones, and that's kind of how it feels right now.
Yeah,
not that I even hate those legendary. At least not to the extent that
I don't hate him to the extent that Hunter does, because I haven't seen Godzilla vs. Kong. If I saw that, I probably would. But
I'm a big hater.
Yeah, like, but from what I know of the later ones, and also just kind of some of the thoughts I had watching, say, Godzilla King of Monsters, where there was a lot of good shit, but there was a lot of really dire shit. It's like, man, these could be better.
So tough because it's like 50% of the movie is Kong, and I don't. No offense to anyone. I watched the Kong, the Peter Jackson Kong when I was a kid. I don't think I've even seen the original, like,
King Kong,
American RKO.
Oh, really?
King Kong. Yeah. No, I never have.
Me neither, actually.
I've seen Peter Jackson when I was a kid. I love that movie. I'll watch it someday. But I say that about many things.
Yeah, to be fair, I haven't seen the Peter Jackson one. I have the director's cut, but like I know that movie's like long.
Do you have
It's a
the
long-ass
movie, the game of
movie.
the movie?
I wish I did.
I remember my family
wish I
rented it
did.
once, and I was in the background. I was like, "Oh, this isn't loud and scary."
I was so on the Peter Jackson fucking
Fumes.
Lord of the Rings fumes. I was like, oh, the movie's gonna be 4.5 hours long. Make it 5. I was watching. I swear to God, I think like
you
once
got
a
your
month-
wish, bitch.
I was watching the movies as a kid. I was watching those extended editions of Lord of the Rings as a kid. Like, give me more, give me more.
Yeah.
Now I'm an adult. We can all understand the theatrical versions were better. But when you're a child, that
Yeah.
why did they cut that?
Why did they cut that scene? I don't understand pacing.
Worm-tongue. Yeah, exactly. Just give me more. As a child, you're like, just give me more.
Right.
But well, I want more candy. Nothing tasteful about this whatsoever. But anyway, yeah. So. Godzilla. Wow, what a guy. Well, in this one, what a jerk. What a meanie.
What a
But
meanie.
we love the guy. In the end, he's got a heart of gold.
Yeah.
A beaten heart.
Yeah.
Evil.
And this one, but, an evil beating heart. But you know what? This is a twisted movie, and it's making me want to get a little bit more twisted. Because I'm going to announce the next show, Edgy. I'm freaking pissed. Okay? I hate that they won't make Godzilla fun and lighthearted anymore, and that's made me so freaking mad. I'm gonna have to take it out on all of y'all listeners. And by that I mean I'm gonna make you listen to a podcast about a twisted show for freaks and sickos. That's right. We're finally gonna do a show that's out of our comfort zone. We're getting out of the corporate big three. Kamen Rider, Kitty Rider is what I call him. Ultraman, Ultra Baby. Okay.
Super Sentai?
Super Sentai.
More like Super Duper Diapers.
Super Diaper, or the Super, Power Rangers. They're just Power Rangers. It's all Power Rangers to me. We're going into the twisted dark world of Keita Amamiya and his first big television show. This is his first big his proper own run show, ignoring his designs on Jetman and stuff,
also
right?
there's Teikoki Mikazuki from from 2000, but that was a weird mini series for NHK. So let's disregard that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, but over series, real TV show, multimedia thing.
Real
Go.
TV show. A real TV show for adults. This is the adult Toku show, and it's very adult and has many adult themes, and it isn't just insane sword baloney. That's right. We're watching GARO. The first GARO, 2005 proper. No subtitle on this one. This is the most twisted, effed up, crazy show you've ever seen. And we're so excited. And it's adult. It's for adults. Finally, they've done Toku. Do you remember the first time you ever heard about GARO and somebody said this is the Toku show for adults?
Yes.
And you watch any amount of it. It's like...
this is Devil May Cry
adult
shit.
is a strange way to say 15-year-old.
Yeah.
This is what the coolest thing I'd ever seen when I was 15. But it's a very weird way to they're trying to hype it up like it's Mad Men or something.
No.
Like an adult sober.
It's
show.
still a guy in a big gold lion outfit. It's
A
still
guy who
silly.
wears a
You'll see some
Kaiba
blood,
jacket
you'll
half
see
the
some
time.
deaths, you'll see some boobs, but it's still a Toku show at the end of the day.
You'll see rose petals.
Yeah, exactly. No. We're watching the first GARO. This is actually one of the shows that got me interested in Toku and covering it in a way. I've seen half of it or most of it. I think I've probably seen up to the first 18 episodes. It's a 26 episode show.
Mm-hmm.
So we're only going to be doing about 2 episodes. I think we're doing 1 through 12.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Because I think 13's a recap or something. I don't know. But yeah, so we're going to be episodes 1 through 12. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I love the tone of the show. It's so 2000s. It's so PS2 JRPG.
It's so Devil May Cry
so
3.
Yes, so much glowering, so much grimness. I love it. It's my shit, 100%. We'll go more into that when we start our history with the show. 106. Any feelings you want to spread real quick before we go into plugs?
I have never watched more than 2 minutes of anything related to GARO.
You've probably seen some great GIFs. Some great
amazing!
GIFs of it.
A lot of women dressed in black and white, fighting dudes that
Keita
are also
Amamiya
dressed in
loves
black
him,
and
his
white.
gothic women.
Everything is shot with a blue filter inside of an office building, and they're all doing really awesome flips with big jackets. It's great. I love that the Matrix will just always be around.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to watching it.
For me personally, we'll get to it when we watch it and like my thoughts on Garo, but yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch it. I've only watched the first few episodes. Always been meaning to get into it because I love Kei Tamamiya. It's really funny to talk about it because it's very much a reactionary show in terms of what, not like the content, but in terms of in response to the industry type show. Let's just say,
Right.
yeah. So looking forward to it.
It's the Toku for adults. It's mature. Okay. It's dealing with very heavy themes like what if a sword cut people in half and blood spurted everywhere, like adult themes like that, Steinbeck stuff.
One very quick thing I want to ask Stix. Stix, did the first Garo come out before or after Kiva?
Before, because Kiva's in 2008.
I fucking knew it. I knew it. I could tell. I could tell. Okay.
We'll get into Garo. I'll do some
boy.
research, so I'm not talking out of my ass next time. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
excited to go out of the the Technicolor world of Toei and Tsuburaya. But yeah, anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. Any plugs from either of you?
Go ahead, Donner.
Spider slash most everywhere, Spider slash _ on Letterboxd. If you want to watch me review Beastie Boys DVDs, follow me there. I am working on the video for April. It will be out when it's out. Outside of that, Blue Sky, you know where to find me. Twitter, I'm reluctantly posting on there again for a different thing I'm working on. But don't follow me there. I hate it there. Every second of there is like a torturous nightmare.
You don't want to post about your creative endeavor and get zero traction on it, and then feel like you totally wasted your time feeding the beast of this website.
Yeah, every second I'm on Twitter, I feel like that image of Wolverine strapped to a rocket.
Yeah.
So don't follow me on there. Everywhere else, especially YouTube, that Poker Night video did really well, and I'm riding high on that a little bit for the next video. So, but that's it from me, your buddy Hunter.
All right.
I like to imagine, sorry, just real quick. I like to imagine you're like, oh, the poker video did really good. Time to get into gambling. I'm getting really into gambling. Gambling streamer, slots, DraftKings, anyway.
Yeah,
Is that where you're going to plug your DraftKings promo code, Stix? Is that where we're going to...
No, I abhor the normalization of gambling. Now, for me, I've got RBPS Stix at bluesky.social. I'm on Twitter, but now I'm locked. I'm sick of being viral occasionally on there. I don't like these miscreants.
Yay! Nice.
Let's see. And also I'm on Letterboxd, RBPS. Thank you very much. Go to you, Russ.
Oh my god. And I have become Mr. Media Mogul at this point. I do too much shit. I feel like sometimes I'm like, does this guy seem desperate for attention? Because I still have Podcast with Alan. That comes out pretty much every other week. And then, twice a month. And then I have my weekly Saturday stream, Clam in the AM, every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I got the worst slot. It's the worst slot. Nobody shows up. Nobody wants to talk to me on there. I'm routinely attacked by my viewers and the management at my... I only have a junior provisional license with my streaming company, P Shoujo, which they threaten to take away. They have told me many times. I am on the verge constantly. Can I just say something fucking annoying?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
Guess what just got announced? Just what got announced as we were recording.
What?
The -0 trailer is going to come out
Yeah.
in 3 days.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Are you joking?
So,
Fuck. Okay.
No, literally, it just got
Great
announced.
timing.
Yeah, so.
Awesome. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mr.
great
Yamazaki.
timing.
We
Yeah,
get
come
to
on, you
date the podcast, baby.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that would have been something nice to have the context to talk about the future of Godzilla about. But anyway, so, 3 days in advance. Come on. But overall, so join me climbing the AM on Saturdays. And then I still do the Tuesday show. I think that's the unofficial nomenclature for my friend FKA Sox stream on Tuesdays. So please go around. I think it's LP Clam is my Twitch, like ALP Clam. And then I have some clips on there that I think are funny, so you can click on those if you want, because apparently that's how you boost your audience.
What do you mean you think your name is that?
Huh?
Well, okay.
What?
I don't listen. Every time I go into other people's streams, they always call me AIP Clam. I'm like, please don't call me that. But at this point, it's become a running gag that I don't know what my name is anymore. Anyway, but yeah. Check us out, and I don't have a sign out.
Don't forget us.
Sign out.
Don't forget us, or else.
Yeah. So anyway, everyone, this is what you Tokuing about, and never forget Godzilla. What Godzilla did for us. Salute.
Salute.